Hi, good afternoon. My name's Roland Eva, and today I'd like to talk to you about how long it takes to write a persuasive email. Now, you might be thinking, Roland, this is crazy. What's the point? Who cares? But the reason why I'm doing this is that one of the big criticisms I hear about the personal development industry again and again and again is that the gurus lie about how easy it is to achieve a result. So today I want to pull back the curtain. Today I want to reveal how long it takes me to write a persuasive email. Now, before I go any further, what I want to get clear on is what I mean by a persuasive email. So what I'm talking about is an email that's anywhere from 500 words to 1,000 words long. And it's an email that tells a story or uses a persuasive metaphor to pull the reader in before asking them to do something, whether that's go watch a video, go read a blog post, go read a sales message. Yeah. So it's an email that's persuading them to do something, but it's doing it in a way that's not solely relying on curiosity. So, there are emails that are, let's say, 50 words long, 100 words long, that basically say, I've got an amazing announcement, go here to check out what it is. Yeah? That is not what I'm talking about. So, how long does it take to write a persuasive email? Well, the answer is it takes me, on average, 2 hours to write a persuasive email. Now, right now, you might be thinking one of two things. You're either thinking, Roland, you are the slowest writer in the world. Like, what's wrong with you? Or you're thinking, wow, I'm not the only one. Yeah? So let's just say you're in the first camp and you're thinking, why does it take so long? So let me just start by saying it all depends on when you start the clock. Because there are plenty of people that will say, yeah, I can write, 800 words in 25 minutes. Well, you might be able to write 800 words in 25 minutes if you know exactly what you're going to write, if you've planned it out in your head. So when do you start the clock? Because I start the clock when I start thinking about what I'm going to write. So let's just say I'm writing a series of emails to promote an online course or a free online workshop. So I'm going to write 5 emails. So what do I do first? So first of all, I think about the different stories and angles and hooks that I'm going to use to explain what the offer is, to explain how it's going to change people's lives and why they need to take the action. Then I'm going to think about different persuasive metaphors that I can use to simplify complexity. So that process in itself for 5 emails could take half an hour. Then what am I going to do? Then I'm going to start to say, right, what are the subject lines that I'm going to use? What are the things that are going to really grab people's attention and pull them in? What's going to make them open the email? And of course, I'm trying to make the subject lines as short as possible. I'm trying to make them 5 words. Yeah, that's what I got. 4 or 5 words. Never more than 10, but really I want to make them 5 words long. So just that process of thinking about the different hooks, angles, stories, and persuasive metaphors, and then thinking about the subject lines for 5 emails, that could take an hour. So I haven't written a single word of a single email, and the clock's already been running for an hour. Yeah, so if we go back to people who say they can write 800 words in 25 minutes, well, maybe you can on a good day when you're running downhill and you've got the wind on your back. But on a normal day, yeah, you can't write that fast. On any day when you got the wind in your face, you can't write that fast. How do I know? Because I spend all day, every day writing. And I know there are days when whoosh, it's just easy and it's elegant and it's joyful. And there are other days when it's hard. So I'm not talking about a good day. I'm not talking about a bad day. I'm talking about average day. Yeah. Average day, 2 hours to write a persuasive email. So like I said, when does the clock start? So I've spent an hour not written a single word. But once I know what stories I want to tell, what subject line I'm going to use, once I actually start writing the emails, it's pretty quick. So yeah, let's say I'm churning them out at 1 email for every 25 minutes. And I say 25 minutes because those are the pomodoros that I write in. So write for 25 minutes, have a 5-minute break, write for another 25 minutes. So, let's just say I can write 500 to 700 words in 1 pomodoro. Great. So write 5 emails, that's 5 Pomodoros. Yeah? So there we go. So why does it, where does the rest of the time come? Well, the rest of the time is spent editing and proofing the emails. So every great copywriter that I've read their books, I've read their blogs, I've taken their online courses, I've attended their workshops, I've joined their mastermind programs, the one thing they all say is that their first draft is as terrible as everybody else's. What makes the difference is the time they spend editing their work. So I write a first draft and I just, get the words out of my head onto the page as quickly as possible. Yeah? How fast can my fingers move? But then I go back over the email and I edit it. And I'm looking to, what can I cut out? What do I need to add in? How can I simplify the language? How can I make this easier to read? But also, how can I make it more compelling? Am I giving the reader a front row seat to a better life? I'm asking all of these questions. I'm demanding that my copy delivers all of those things. So that's the editing process. Then what do? Then I print it out and I read through it again. Yeah. Then I put it into Grammarly and I ask Grammarly to, check my spelling, the first thing, and then, it wants to put in a gazillion commas, some of which I allow it to do, most of which I don't, because I just think they just clutter up the page. So that's why it takes 2 hours to write an email, because, the clock starts when you start thinking about it. It's then writing the email, editing the email, and proofing the email that means that it takes 2 hours. Now, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Ernest Hemingway, and that is, some days writing flows like water. And there are other days when it feels like you're blasting rock with your bare hands. So, what I'm talking about today is the average length of time it takes to write an email. Sure, there are times when you're running downhill and you've got the wind on your back and it's just effortless. And you can get it done in less than half of that time. But then equally, there are other times when you're running uphill and you've got the wind in your face and it just feels hard. And at times like that, it's useful for me to go, well, how close am I to my average? And the answer is, normally, I'm right on point. It doesn't matter how bad a day I think I'm having. The results show that it's no worse, no better than, an average day. So what I really want to say is, if you're getting stressed about how long it takes you to do something, if you think, oh man, everybody else is doing it so much easier, why does it take me so long? The answer is that you're not spending so much longer than anybody else. It takes everybody a long time to get things done. Now, the other thing is, if you're only just starting out with copywriting, guess what? It's going to take longer than it takes somebody like myself that's got 10 years of experience under my belt. So once you know how long it takes somebody who's got 10 years experience, then you can start to think, well, it's going to take me longer. So if it's taking me a bit longer, that's okay. The important thing is that I get a good result. The important thing is that I'm writing good, persuasive copy that drives my business forward. So I hope you found that useful. I hope that maybe has freed you from the realities of how long it takes you to write some copy, and it's made you also see that writing good copy is about more than just getting your ideas down on paper. It's about editing them and then proofing them before you send them out the door. So if you found this useful, then please leave a comment below. And if this can help somebody that if you know of a business owner that's struggling to get their name out there, then please share this with them. And until next time, carpe diem.